Okay, so I found this site with a bunch of design patterns for software development. Let's see how many we can collect. We have the creational. Let me zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Creational design pattern. The factory. And if you're new, these types of videos, if I say factory, you say factory. If I say creational, you say creational during the pause. Now, this one is factory method, which is different than factory design. So, oh no, it's actually factory. All right, creational. You'll see the word design pattern, design pattern, design pattern, design pattern. So we'll go with the word before that. Factory, factory method, abstract factory. I say abstract factory, you say abstract factory. The builder. And they have a real-time example. The fluent interface. Prototype. There's both a shallow copy and deep copy. So we have shallow copy. Deep copy. Singleton. Here's a type of singleton called the thread safe singleton. For some reason, the author decided to identify the difference between lazy loading and eager loading in the design pattern for singleton. So let's stick to that and we'll do lazy loading singleton. We'll do eager loading singleton. And he's comparing the singleton to a static class. And he provides a real-time example. So perhaps a static class in itself could be a design pattern. So let's just put static here. So these are all the creational design patterns. Alright, let's move on to structural. There's not as many. Structural. Adapter. Facade or facade. Decorator. Bridge. composite, proxy, I say proxy, you say, and flyweight. Okay, now we have our behavioral design patterns. I say iterator. I say observer. You say observer. Chain of responsibility. State. Template method. The template method design pattern. Command. Visitor. Strategy. Here's 3 examples for strategy. The pattern itself, a real-time example for travel, and another real-time example for payments. It's the only one with 3, so that maybe that's more important than the others. Mediator. Memento. Okay. Dependency injection. And here's a couple uses. So all these have properties and methods. And all these have real-world example usages. Here's the use of Unity container. But that's just one design pattern, so we'll leave that one alone. And you notice it's separate from the other 3 classes for some reason. Repository design pattern. The generic repository. So this is saying the unit of work is inside the repository pattern. And this also is saying that repository would be non-generic. So actually this should be called the non-generic repository versus the generic repository. And I think the unit of work is used very common. So let's call it the unit of work repository. Another grouping by this author would be the inversion of control. And this is saying using the factory pattern, which you have an abstract factory, and a factory method from earlier. Using the dependency inversion principle. Now there's some ambiguity between what is a principle and what is a pattern. But that dependency inversion looks a lot like dependency injection. But there is a different word, so let's go ahead and inversion. Inversion of control using containers. Okay, so that's our design patterns, and you can clearly see from this author he's created them into creational, structural, actually these three would also be creational. Flyweight's the last one of these, so let's go ahead and move these over just a little bit. And then behavioral, and then for whatever reason he's got these as different categories. Alright, there you go. So we have, at least from this author, we might be missing some, but if you're getting into this architectural design patterns, these are a good certain number to start with. So we'll call this software development architectural design patterns. And let's see how many we have. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So we have 39 new software design patterns that you can use as you're developing your application.